Is there any way we can measure vibration on ourselves? I know it's getting better by the way I'm feeling it emotionally. Well, you've just measured it. There's a piece later on that kind of covers that. And it also came up in the chat again. We're always looking for the external technology to prove what we already know. So if you're feeling it, then you've just measured it. Trust yourself. Any idea on the future of Social Security? No, I've got no further update on that. We did put in a package and let's see what happens. Why are there less left-handed people than right-handed people? No idea. Kalimar people, are they belonging to the human species? If so, what race do they belong to? It's humans who have been taught by off-world people to worship the Dark Mother, which then, along with genetics and some overriding game playing by, again, off-world, they encouraged those Kalimar infected people to mix with the white race, and so devalue the white race for future extinction. That's kind of how these clowns work. Is there evil in cosmic terms? Absolutely. We've dealt with it for the last many hundreds of thousands of years, and their levels of evil. Is it part of the duality experiment on Earth? Not really, but there is a possibility. I can't prove it. It's really, I don't think anyone can really prove it. So you can take it for what it is, but there was the thought process that the source for this universe was naive and wanted to try a light-only universe, except it didn't close all the doors and it let in the dark. And of course, if you're conditioned or programmed to believe in only light, it takes some time to recognize something's not right, or to be able to explain it. It's a bit like what we were talking about with Michelle last Sunday. You know, we all knew certain things. We knew and felt something's not right, but we couldn't articulate it. We were too young and too naive. And it's the same thing. We ended up with this universe being 87% dark. And there was a time when they were going to pull the whole universe. Some thought it could be saved. Is pain, trauma a part of duality to create consciousness in dense forms? Well, they've created an awful lot of trauma, which some people are addressing currently, not only their own life in this lifetime, but also previous lifetimes, and also their family line. But if we're going to start afresh and anew, that those things have to be dealt with. I was told once that pain creates soul consciousness awareness, so the patterns of duality are not repeated for so many lifetimes. That could well be the case, but if you have memory wipes, via the soul traps, that negates all of that, does it not? So there in itself lies the problem. That technology is now gone, by the way. when you are talking about a program, can you specify which program each time for us newbies? Harvesting gold, souls, or whatever. These freak harvests. You also mentioned we have a soul and a spirit. Can you so differentiate those two for us newbies? They're all covered in the soul and the spirit is covered in Humanity Unplugged 1 and 2 extensively. As for the other programs, Harvest and Gold, that's also covered in some of the must listen to shows. For new people, I try to it's like sometimes when I say Anne, I will say that's our fun name for the original entity known as Hillary Clinton, who no longer exists. So sometimes I will go back, but for flow in the show, it's not always easy to do. That's why I keep asking for people who are new, is to go through the must listen to shows in order, because it has a story flow to it, and you'll understand everything that we speak about within the shows that is not kind of modern or up to date. As I see it, Kim is for the most part, for most experts on trusts on the planet, should state groups wait to establish trusts or other registered non-profit accounts until we get further guidance as to the exact type of entity we should establish for funding our projects? Well, that's what you just said is all in the guidelines. THI is the first stage of the groups. Once the funding comes out, then it will morph into the People's Club, state and country groups, and then you can set up your 501c3s or whatever else you wish to do. I don't see the value in setting up trusts and all kinds of other things in the now, when there's no 100% guarantee that the funds will come out. We suspect it will, but you can't be 100% sure. Oregon has members with established trusts ready to establish bank accounts. Members are asking for some direction. No, it will be the People's Club Oregon that will establish the funding, not individual trust accounts. That's the second time Oregon has kind of jumped ahead and not listened to things clearly of what I've said. Once the funding comes out, then there will be the people, not THI, because that will no longer exist. It will be the People's Club, and you'll set up a 501c3 or LLC, or whatever you choose to do. Then the funds get transferred, but not individual trust accounts or THI trust accounts, because that is not where it's going. Yes, I'll play that song one day, Aaron. I know your mum likes that song, so I will play that song one day. Again, it's like a flashback from the the past there. Klingons on the starboard bow. Oh my. How do you know if you or a loved one has a walk-in, and can you get rid of it? Their behaviour pattern changes drastically. It may start off slowly because the walk-in doesn't want to be noticed, but if people's behaviour patterns and opinions suddenly change drastically, it's a sign of it, that person's being operated by something else. Getting rid of them is not too easy. You have to look at where that entity came in. Are they taking drugs? Are they drinking excess alcohol, alcohol, gin? There's several ways. Are they doing yoga, which is another way of entities walking in, because you open up all the channels. I think I listed it somewhere around October, November, of the 11, 12 or 13 different ways that someone can be possessed and house a walk-in. So if that person's drinking excess alcohol, then they have to stop. If they're doing drugs, then they have to stop. And then get in tune with themselves to then force that entity out. No consent. Well, if you're just going to carry on drinking or doing pot and other drugs, ayahuasca and all the other stuff, then you're literally wasting your time. Researching the White Brotherhood, how do you see its purpose, and does it connect to the white pointed hoods of Ku Klux Klan, or is it New Age negative soul harvest trap? The original White Brotherhood was something that the Hopi people talked about. That was the Rus, that was the heirs. I don't like the term brotherhood at all. It has bad connotations, unfortunately. Like most things, they've been twisted. But no, it's nothing to do with the Ku Klux Klan whatsoever. That's a typical mainstream media, agency, think tank, alt media narrative, is to morph all whites into some kind of supremacists who are violent and racist. And the reality is the Ku Klux Klan was created by the Democratic Party. Oops. How can someone prove ownership of any name? No idea, sorry. Part of that, I imagine, is to do with the dead entity and the capital letters. Don't participate. Capital letter at the front, lowercase after it. Capital letter at the front of the surname, lowercase after it. You are stating your real name. If they say you haven't done it in block, you can turn around and says, actually I'm the live person, and so that is my name, not the dead block letter capitals. Is anyone looking into the politicians in South Africa, farm murders and the leaders telling the people of South Africa to kill white South Africans? Ongoing thing and theme. I'm hoping some of the shows that I've done highlighting what's happened to the black people and who did it. And it wasn't all whites either. It wasn't all Jews either. It was all people. And that doesn't mean to say that eye for an eye, because if you carry on with that, we'll all be blind. They keep throwing these divide and conquer up, and it's up to the people to stand up and sovereignty and go, well, whatever happened in the past is gone. What are we going to do now? How are we going to come together? How are we going to work around it? Not let's eliminate each other. That just plays into the system, and it just repeats the death and destruction cycle wheel. So the people in South Africa need to meet, white and black, and sort it out. Do you know what agenda is behind Andrew Yang? No, I don't, sorry. He is promoting this equality, seems like Sanders, probably. Because Sanders is in the back pocket of Israel. Why do some people get high anxiety, even paranoia, when smoking pot? I would have high anxiety when if you could really see what you're doing by smoking that stuff. The plant itself is fantastic, apart from the smoking. That is the no-no and the worst aspect of the use of that plant. I know that will upset many, but I care not. If you're going to be stupid and open up your channels and allow entities in, or the possibility of entities, and not only that, but disease. Bearing in mind, cancer comes from the lower astral. Then that's your choice. But don't expect me to support it, because I won't. Some people say it's relaxing, but the paranoia is partly because there is other entities floating around the vessel, that's why. No, Thomas, it's good stuff. No, you won't convince me, I'm sorry. Medicinal purposes and all the other forms that plant brings, fantastic. Just don't smoke it. Sorry. You've been duped, particularly in America, badly.